5 days before the event, I get invited to a pop-up art market, and I say yes. No product, no plan, and plenty of panic. Since it was the fall season, I decided to make a tiny ghost character from scratch. Designed, sculpted, resin casted, some painted, packaged, and I brought them to the pop-up in Oregon. And through it all, I sold. Well, let's watch my week of chaos and find out. Okay, so here's the full story. 3 weeks before the event, I get a friendly invite to participate in Gam Jam, a pop-up art market that happens every year in Portland, Oregon. Normally, I pass on these kind of events because, well, they're a lot of work, and on top of everything I have going on, how would I find time? But I said screw it and let's make something new and have some fun. So I go all in and apply, and waited, but I forgot I applied. And apparently I've been already approved, but I'm just now seeing it. This is only 5 days away. Okay, let's see, what am I taking? I have a couple blank beta toys I can bring, or maybe I can print something fun. I mean, it is October, and that's a perfect time for something spooky and cute. So over the last few years, I made some fun Halloween projects here on YouTube. I created a ghost that some of you helped name Gary Floats, and last year I made Gary a friend, a skeleton named Barry Bones. But what to do this time? Let me doodle some ideas and see what I can come up with. Yeah, I like that. Alright, bear with me. Since I only have a couple days, I need to keep the design simple. And I figured Gary can have a childlike ghost friend. But what to name it? Let's ask everyone on Instagram. I need your help. I'm creating an adorable character for the spooky season. I need a first name and an adjective related to the spooky season. Alright, we'll see what they say. Let's start sculpting. Now that I have the base shape of this little ghost, I can give him a little smile, his tiny little hands, and his big eyes. And I even put my logo on the bottom, which added a really nice touch. I'm so excited to get this on the printer tomorrow. Good morning, it's day 2. I didn't get many responses for naming this little ghost, but nobody really knows what I'm working on. So today I'm going to share an image of the ghost. I don't want to reveal it just yet, and maybe we'll get a couple more suggestions. Here's what we got. My friend Allison Bamcat came up with Hollow Harry. I've got someone that said Gloomy Gilbert, and then this one was really funny, and that's Slimy Hernandez. That's such a good name. That's such a good name. Okay, we'll have to create a character soon. Thanks to everyone that had some suggestions for naming this character that I've created. I'll share an image and maybe that'll give you some ideas, and if you guys have any input, and I'll share more of that as I progress. We'll give that a go and see what they can come up with. Now we need to start our day. To finish this design, I just need to do 2 things. I need to make sure these eyes are keyed in perfectly, so when I go to glue them, because they will be separate, that they fit in the right position. And I'll need to make sure I scale it to the size that I want. Compared to Gary Floats and Barry Bones, which were about 4 inches, I'm gonna make sure this one stays under 2 inches. Let's do that. Right now the size of it is only 1.1 millimeters. So the easiest way to do it is to search how tall you want it, convert that into millimeters. 50.8 millimeters. So this is probably the closest I'll get. 49.3. It's just under 2 inches, but I think it's gonna work. No one's really gonna notice. So now I can send them to my 3D printer. After slicing all the models, filling up the printer, and printing for a few hours, I have 3 successful prints that I can use for mold making. Now to clean them really good before I cure them and start sanding. When it comes to sanding, I'm going to want to make sure that I do a really good job at getting these all 3 cleaned as much as possible. Because these are going to be used for making molds, any imperfection that one of these has will show up in all of my models. And I know what you might be thinking, why not just print and paint them? Well, I have some plans and I'll get there in just a second. Top of the morning to ya. It is almost 8 a.m. on Wednesday. I do have a few touch-ups, which is the reason why I'm here early. If you see with the light, there are a few bumps that need to sand still. And then I have these tiny, you can't really see them on the camera, but these tiny pinholes, and I need to primer the bottom. When you make molds of 3D prints, if you don't seal it with primer or clear coat, sometimes you can have a weird reaction with the silicone not curing. We definitely don't have the time for that, and I don't want that. Alright, let's look at all the suggestions that people posted. We have Wobble, Booster Buoy, Bob Bloop, Ghosty, Toast, like toast minus the A. Toast, that's a good one, that's funny. Bubby Boo, aww. Little Alfredo, that's sick, I love it. Little Alfredo. Alright, on my other post, we also have Winifred Erie, Floats. I wonder if they watched the Gary Floats video. Ooh, I think I mentioned this one, Hernandez Slimy. From there, I'm gonna brainstorm and see what I can figure out. Now to move on to making the molds. I'm gonna go through this process really quick. If you wanna see a more in-depth video, check out my newest vlog where I share how I make molds using Lego bricks. And after 30 minutes of curing time, I can repeat this entire process. I'll just need to remove the wax and pour up a second part of silicone. Are you ready to pour some resin? Today is the day, full on production mode. I'm awake. I don't really know how much I'm gonna get done. I have today to do all the pouring as much as possible, and tomorrow to finish any paint work and putting everything together and packing it up. So first things first, let's take these molds out of these pressure pots and see how everything looks and get started. Oops. Now I can test them out by mixing up some resin. And man, do I hope I did a great job, because I don't have time to remake these molds. I'll be back in an hour to check on them, so wish me luck. So yesterday I did get some time to design some of the signage branding for my table, like this QR code, but I have to finish a price guide, and I wanted to share a little bio page and some other little promo things and price tags. That way, in case anyone comes by, they can get some information without me having to explain it all. So between pouring resin, I'm going to finish this up so I can send it over to get it printed. I'll say the molds were successful. Now we can start casting as many as possible today. I'm looking to completely finish at least a dozen of these ghosts. I'm so stoked that these molds are going to be working out for me. We're on day 4. We got all the sculpting done, the printing, got all the mold making finished, and now I just need to pour away and sand some more. But I'm only working on 2 more days left, so there's no time to wait. It's time to experiment. Now this is the reason why I made these silicone molds. This is glow in the dark powder, and it's kind of hard to use. You have to use a bunch of it just to get that glow effect. I don't use it enough, but I'm gonna try and see how it looks. One problem that I was facing was the molds that I made for these tiny eyes were kind of inconsistent getting these air bubbles, so I'm going to print up a bunch of them and I hope that'll just speed up the process. After all, I just need to paint them in black. So here's a look at how the glow in the dark piece turned out. There's a slight fade in the glow. You can see what I mean when I say you need a lot of glow powder, but it's going to have to work. Now to focus on getting these eyes done, let's remove them from the printer so I can get them all clean and continue sanding. So here's a look at some of the first colors that I poured. I have this ice white. I also poured a translucent orange that looks like honey, and I was curious to see what black looked like. So I went ahead and poured a couple of those. At this point of the project, I feel way in over my head. I have one more day before we hit the road, and I have tons of sanding. I'll need to focus on getting all the eyes painted and then polishing any of the colored resins that I'm poured. I'm gonna start the day off with painting these little ghosts white. I even use a few translucent paints for some one-off additions, which feels so totally different to me. It's something I rarely do, but I think they look great. And just to add the last bit of paint on these eyes so we can clear coat them, let them dry, and then put everything together. Now's a good time to say thank you to all my patrons. I know my feed has been moving slowly, and so has my studio practice, but I promise to make the best out of my situation and continue creating. Honestly, editing this video really got me excited to share the next one. If you'd like to download your own little ghost to print, you can find it now on Patreon by joining the print and paint tier. That's at patreon.com/feestudio. So I didn't get everything exactly finished. I finished about a dozen of these ghosts and even hand painted a few of them. But I have some blank beta toys, and I'm even gonna display my Star Wars prototypes that I've made. I'm gonna keep it very simple, but man, this has just been a busy week and I'm looking forward to tomorrow's drive. So let's head to Portland. That's after packing everything up. Okay, with the help of my kids, I decided to name this little ghost Baby Floats. It just resembled a really cute version of Gary Floats, so thank you to everyone that helped brainstorm. It's crazy to look back on this project. I totally could have said no about this event and not show up and have to put any of this time in creating a new character. But one thing I've learned about myself is that I work well with deadlines. Not all of them are met, but when I have a challenge and it's all I can focus on, there's nothing that really gets in my way besides time. Okay, we're about 45 minutes behind, and it is now 7 o'clock, and we have to get there in about 2 hours. Yeah. I made it with just a few minutes to set up. It was held at this abandoned mall called the Lloyd Center. It was really interesting going there because I really didn't know what to expect. But we found the place, and when we got in there, I got straight to setting up, which was really cool because I got to see a couple artist friends who had a booth right next to me. Check out their work.
Yeah, let's see how you do under pressure. I've been wanted this forever. I've been in the field with whatever they throw at me. Brush it off, pick myself up, moving on to the better. Hey. Ain't no errors, baby, it's a new era. I wake up early, feeling rich like I'm Kesha. I get to the paper, boy. Extra. Walk with me, you know that I got it. Come with me, let's take a trip to the islands. We up on the jet, we'll do more than just fly on it. Stand on that hill, you gon' die on it. Boom. Baby, I'm not one of them, you should try on it. Miss me with all that, I'm on it and next. Whip this up, I send you back to your ex. But good luck with that, this is big as it gets. Hey, let's see how you
I didn't get to see everything in this shopping center, but there were so many talented artists and I had so much fun just being there. But it comes down to this. I spent the entire week and I didn't sell much. I actually only sold one beta to my friend Andrew, who was right next to me. But honestly, I didn't let that get me down because I met some really important people within the industry. And I even made some new friends. And as soon as I got back, I started finishing everything that I didn't get done for an online release, which honestly went really amazing. Everything sold. And I think that made this entire experience worth it. And right now, I even have a third drop that I just finished. I'll show you some of these new colors at the end of the video, and I even hope to print up a large ghost the size of a pumpkin, which at some point will be up for auction, so look out for that. Maybe even release some keychains and some more stickers. Let me know what you might want to see. Well, I hope you guys got inspired from this video and my work week, and if you're looking to create some really cool toys, what are you waiting for? Regardless of the outcome, just make something. Thanks for watching.